fear. feel uninvited. Left home in West LA, I'm not excited. So uninspired. On my way to play the bay while you're alone. This girl's a wonder. She loves me, yeah, she needs to know I love her. I wonder if we'll make it through this summer. Just wanna touch like back when we were younger. Yeah. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me. I'm so divided, starstruck, but hate has got some indecisive. I'm over fighting. I just can't wake up cold and sleep alone. This boy's some trouble. When he's around, my problems seem like double. His stupid eyes put me on ice, so no, no. Don't slow me down, don't wanna do this solo. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me. I can't help myself, you're a drug to me. I just can't get enough. I know this is love, so come close to me while we're still young. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me. If I was a bad guy, I would've left you hanging by a thread. If it was the first time, I would've held long until the edge. If I could help it be, telling you to love me, pulling you into my chest. If I knew it was the last time, I wouldn't have said what I said. 'Cause I said goodbye. We let it slide in front of our eyes. We say goodbye. 'Cause I said goodbye. We let it slide in front of our eyes. We say goodbye. We say goodbye. We say goodbye. We say goodbye. From the beginning, I didn't know what we had. I didn't see clearly. Fogging the headlights holding me back. If I could help it be, think of you, baby, nothing else can do. Love me twice, stop the moving time. I'm in love with you, baby, nothing else will do.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another pre-game interview here on Valence League. We're here in Division 2 with Team Vigorous against Sacramentum, and I'm joined today by VGR's AD carry, Ambitious Ram. How's it going, man?
That's me. It's alright, yeah.
Good.
It's not too bad.
So let's just jump right into it. Who's on your roster? Who's playing today?
So in top lane we've got Commodore or Nate. So with our roster we've had a lot of people know we've gone through a lot of changes because people keep coming and going. We found Nate last split a member of 1 in 5. Basically we just poached 1 in 5 members. But he's been pretty good. He's quite consistent top laner. He's not really rated too highly by the community, but I think that's mainly just because people don't know who he is. He doesn't talk much in VL. None of our team really does. He usually wins lane. He's quite a good 1v9 top, I'd say. Very much for the split push. For jungle, we picked up a new jungler, not played in VL before. His username is JKEJ, no idea where that comes from, but he fits the team quite well. He has a good sense of humour, he knows what he's doing, he listens to calls, he's vocal, it's just everything you want. In mid lane, the notorious Blazing Midnight, the much flamed mid laner. I mean, not much to say. He's got that meme that he's a Diana one trick, even though he isn't, but it's a thing. He's okay, good player. Needs to work on his roams, but like his team fighting is quite consistent, and you'll see that a lot of the time in late game fights it's him who's really like pumping out DPS, and a lot of the time he actually does outperform many mid laners in late game team fights and what he actually manages to do. Me, I'm just the ADC. I'm also the much flamed, but I don't think that Flame's too deserved. You got to see ADC as a team reliant role. VGR's been through a lot of ups and downs. Everyone keeps leaving, people keep randomly joining, stuff like that. That's not too much of an issue. I don't really care about being flamed. Then support, we've got Rakuri, Joe. He's just really good. He can play any position. When he first joined the team, he actually played jungle. And then at one split he played top lane. But now he plays support, and we have some really good synergy in scrims. We have been winning quite a lot of lanes pre-15. We're usually massively ahead in gold. Just need to translate that into actual games, maybe.
Yeah, you would hope.
But I think the roster itself we all have very similar sense of humor. We all want to play with each other outside of games. I think it's probably one of the best, friendly rosters that we've put together. Everyone's quite friendly with each other.
Fair play. I mean, that's always a good thing to have. I mean, I imagine that helps with synergy as well, which was going to be my next question. How have things been going? You been scrimming well? Your synergy working well as a team?
Yeah. So after every scrim, everyone's really motivated. The scrims have been going pretty decently. Even in games that we lose, no one gets tilted. Everyone's ready to improve, and it's just been a pretty nice atmosphere. A massive difference from some splits I've been in before and just other environments. And even though it's not entirely translated to our actual games, I'm still pretty confident in the roster because the synergy that we have is quite nice with the comms. Everyone's constantly talking. It's pretty good.
Alright, fair play. Well, given that, where do you think you're gonna land this split? You guys have been around for a long time. I know you've been through a lot of roster swaps, but with this roster, you reckon you'll win? Do you reckon you'll make it into Division 1 finally, or what do you think?
Right, so not exactly certain that we're going to win, but I do expect that we'll probably come, at least above average. We'll end at least above average, especially now that the split is a best of 3 double round robin. We kind of made a roster it finalized last minute, but because the split is longer now, we have a lot more time to actually improve. And even though the first few games are rocky, we have that time to improve and just get better, and that really helps us a lot.
Alright, fair play. Well, so just before we jump into Champ Select, have you got any thoughts on this game? Have you scrimmed Sacramentum? Have you prepped for them? How do you think this is going?
Well, we have scrimmed Sacramentum quite a lot. Their members are actually ex-VGR, so we know quite a bit about them. I think that we'll win. I'll be kind of disappointed if we don't, mainly just because bragging rights over Wavy. It's quite important.
I can imagine. Well, I wish you the best of luck, mate. It's going to be a fantastic game to watch. So thanks for the interview.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Valence League's Division 2 game between Sacramentum and Team Vigorous. I am Motojo, and with me is the always knowledgeable Temporal. How are you doing this heat, my man? Have you shot 4, 5, or 6 times today?
We've done 2 games already, which is why I was slightly delayed to the stream, but looks like everything lined up and we're here just about on time anyway. So we're doing okay. I'm not sure about the hopefully knowledgeable. It is still above 30 degrees where I am, and it is rather painful.
Yeah, mushy brain from the heat aside, we're going to have a very interesting game on our hands today, as we have the team that has been promoted to the second division in Sacramentum, who are, despite that fact, absolutely crushing it so far. They have 3 wins on their tally. They are the only team to do so. And on the other side is a team that's been in Valence League for a long, long time. They've gone through a lot of shuffles roster-wise, but the organization has been with us for the long time in Team Vigorous. But unfortunately for them, they, as of now, are 0-3 with no game wins even to their name, and they're looking to redeem themselves today.
Alright, we'll have to see if they can struggle back and get on the scoreboard. Conversely, Sacramentum doing incredibly well with the 3 match wins on their scoreboard. Okay, we do start off the bans. Thresh taken away here, a reasonably flat, ubiquitous ban. Stops the playmaking in the bottom lane from that avenue. Israel, a pretty decent pickup here. I'm not sure if Vigorous only go for that, but with Caitlyn being the power pick she is on the current patch, Ezreal is one of the answers. So this is Sacramentum looking to get out of the Caitlyn Ezreal handshake no matter which way.
Yeah, but there's still Ashe, of course.
Yeah, Ashe will probably be the answer, and it does prevent Vigorous banning deeper without opting out of the handshake that they may understand to the top of their ability. Set received a lot of nerfs on the patch, doesn't quite fulfill the role he used to, but still very flexible and won't be B1able here, thanks to Sacramentum banning it away.
And Diana, obviously a target ban towards Blazing Midnight, often called a Diana one-trick. Of course, he is able to play other champions. It is still banned a lot against him. While we see the Sivir first pick, I do want to say 100% ban rate so far against Sacramentum is that Thresh.
Will be. It is Zyphora their support, isn't it? My lobby's all bugged. Unfortunately, Yone on 1016 has taken both of his swords to our champion select lobby. So while you can see the nice organized one on stream, I hope we have a bit more of a piecemeal one on screen. And that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say Yuumi probably not going to be the partner of a Caitlyn in lane.
Especially seeing as Sivir B1, just opting straight into the Sivir Caitlyn lane. I'm not sure Sivir has such a great time here.
I mean, you do have the spell shield against the traps, obviously, but a lot of tools to break that shield before the traps come down, especially with that Blitzcrank partnering it. Very aggressive bot lane here coming in from Urban and Zyphora. The Sivir, of course, safer than a lot of other AD carries, but only the spell shield will not protect you from everything. So a pretty bold first pick, maybe to have some more options towards these counter picks in the solo lanes, while the Pike is the answer to the Blitzcrank.
Okay, it's going to be really explosive either way in the bottom side here. Caitlyn, I feel Caitlyn should still have a fine lane. You don't have to use your spells proactively against Sivir with the shield up. Instead, you look for the opportunity, the trap they can't dodge, the chain CC that cannot be shielded, so there should be no moment in between to cast the ability. With Pike, it looks like both sides setting up for picks, gold generation, and pushing at that bottom lane forwards to swing into the win. Vel'Koz here for Blazing Midnight looks pretty safe in the blind generally. Will be now on Coco to provide something in the first phase, either jungle or mid lane, to make that Vel'Koz uneasy. And it's going to be...
Ooh, Irelia. Very interesting pick. They have not yet picked it up this split. So a new one for them, while the Vel'Koz is one of Blazing Midnight's more comfortable picks. He's picked it twice so far in the season. As all the games for them have not gone great so far, I cannot tell you of a good win rate for them, but it's definitely not the worst thing to pick up, especially if you're looking to blind pick mid lane. We'll have to ask ourselves if this Irelia will be going to the mid lane to answer the Vel'Koz, or if it's for Jonjo in the top lane.
I think the power of Irelia at the moment on R3, it is a pretty strong draft move, is that you can just do both. Is a bit of a threat to the Vel'Koz in the mid lane. Irelia received a number of buffs over the previous patches, and as such occupies a place in competitive at the moment. You may have seen her on the LCK this morning, and I believe the LPL are all over her as well. Yeah, strong champion in the current meta. Kennen will be taken away, so target bans against Jonjo here.
Yeah, definitely a signature pick.
This Irelia is going straight down the middle lane.
Yeah, also I really like the Trundle pick against Vigorous, because when JK has been looking very good is when he was on this Trundle. Despite 2 losses in the 2 games he's played on it, he's got 9, 6, and 8, and 4, 3, and 6 in the KDAs. So even in losses, he's been looking good on that champion. So a very good ban, in my opinion, from the side of Sacramentum. The Zac alongside it. Let's see if the Kennen ban is accompanied by another target ban towards our headcaster and top laner of Sacramentum in Jonjo.
Big Boss himself will be not targeted out on the 5th. It'll be Graves removed instead. I'm not sure Graves truly complements the team composition here, but maybe we're just shrinking that jungle pool, pushing the members of Sacramentum a bit deeper, and being confident in Vigorous's jungle pool without the Graves. So we're going to see the Sejuani picked up. Now, finally, the top laner for Vigorous will have to show his hand here on B5 before Jonjo gets to reply on the last pick of the draft.
Yeah, in the interview, Ambitious Ram stated that Commodore very much can be that 1v9 top laner in the right circumstances with the right champion in his hand, and now a potential counter pick looking at Aurelia maybe going into the top lane. It is the Poppy that has a couple of times been banned against this squad. It is a champion that's often underestimated in the early and mid game, in my opinion, when it comes to the damage it can put out. And then in the late game, of course, a very, very big tank answered by Jonjo's Rumble, one of his favorite champions. It could, of course, go mid lane. They have flexed the Rumble to the mid lane before in this split. So until the 20-second mark is reached where swapping will be over, we will not know which of these solo lane champions are going where.
Okay, I do suspect this is likely the lineup, as Irelia has a pretty awful time into the Poppy, unfortunately, and
Yeah.
even picking Poppy for the top lane will promote that anti-synergy in the later game, as she'll probably be able to stand up against the Irelia in a side lane or in a small unit fight. So I expect the Leandry's Rumble, as we do see that one confirmed, dealing as much damage to Poppy as possible, making Commodore's health bar not able to sustain these engages, not able to fight forwards. Yeah, Poppy also with the anti-synergy for Jarvan, pretty strong here. I mean, the top lane will likely be the effervescent island we know it to be. And oh boy, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So now with both lineups standing with their champions, what is your prediction for the outcome of the game, or even just for the early and mid section of this game? Where do you see this going?
I'm going to give it to Sacramentum in late for their familiarity with the champions, the ability for Rumble to dominate team fights and disrupt Vel'Koz's setup, which is the most important thing on making the champion work in a competitive environment. Setting up the shooting gallery, knocking 5 people down with a whole bunch of true damage is not easy when there is a Blitzcrank, there is a Rumble waiting to throw their long range skill shots at you, make your life an absolute misery. And without that, we are just looking for the severe ARAM win condition. And until we go 400 CS, it's pretty hard to enable that. Without sacrificing like huge amounts of pressure, without sacrificing your lane assignments, it's going to be really difficult. That said, the anti-synergy is there for Commodore with this Poppy, making sure your opponents don't have a great time, being a magnet for the Blitzcrank hooks, and then setting up to deny all dashes forwards and backwards will be a strong tool for Vigorous. I
Yeah.
wanted to call him Vengeance so badly for a moment for Vigorous Gaming here in the mid to late game.
Yeah.
So, with all that said, it will be on Zyphora to pick apart the mid game, try and make that work to the best of the ability. They're going to have to play this Blitzcrank a little bit like Bard style. They're going to have to disrupt multiple lanes, be the threat that Sivir and Pike can't react to as quickly as they would originally like, and set up Urban for the Caitlyn upswing we know comes just before 3 items. Starts after that first Infinity Edge or Storm Razor is completed, and from then on forward, she has to keep driving, keep driving, keep driving until the game ends. Otherwise, the tempo will stall, and the Caitlyn pick falls apart quite quickly in that situation.
Yeah, I was going to say in the late game, the 400 CS silver win condition can always be such a big threat,
Oh,
even to a
yes.
team that is ahead in gold or objectives. Especially with champions like the Poppy in the lineup, I think that steadfast presence, that Poppy W, is a very underappreciated part of her kit, especially against champions like Jarvan, like Caitlyn, like Aurelia, that want to dash in and out of fights, or at least into fights in some cases, or in Caitlyn's case, out of the fight. Having a Poppy standing in between you and safety that has her W on makes it so much more difficult to navigate these team fights. So we're gonna have to be looking for Vigorous to weather the storm of the mid game when the Rumble and the Caitlyn and the Aurelia really come online.
Yes, will be the struggle. The Aurelia, as played in competitive most of the time, doesn't have to pop off a la solo queue 1v5 Aurelia, but it does have to neutralize the lane. If you aren't it's like 60% ahead in the lane, like if it's 60-40, you're doing well. If it's 50-50, not so well. I'm just gonna wait. Are we going to a quick video, Trav?
It's
All right, we'll be right back after this message. All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and valences of the league. We are just getting into game here for game one of Sacramentum versus Vigorous Gaming. I will do my best to get your names correct. We've got some interesting rune choices.
Yeah, definitely.
Pretty standard across the board. Pike with the El Clasico Aftershock, Sivir with the hyperscaling lethal tempo, Caitlyn not opting into doing the same, just going for that lane pressure instead. I've never seen that Sejuani skin before, Motor Joe.
Yeah, Dark Rider, I don't know if it's new or if it's just never used. Speaking of skins, I really, really love the Astronaut Poppy skin.
Oh, it's adorable.
I really, really hate the Super Galaxy Rumble skin because he cannot shut up.
Pierce the heavens, Joe.
It will always keep talking whenever he uses an ability. But of course, then the pizza delivery, Sneaky Siva, is one of the best things that ever happened to this game. So no reason to hate here.
Okay, we're just loading on in and synchronizing up. We'll get started. I don't expect a huge amount at either gate at level 1. We won't be going for those lines of scrimmage if either team wants to push the envelope at level 1. Instead, we're going to be looking for long, sweeping invades. And those are going to be set up by Pike. And Blitzcrank here. I definitely hit my pause timer. There we go. Confirm.
Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in game. The champions are about to leave the fountain. As you said, you're not expecting small invades, but if invades coming, they're going to be big. And both teams have a hook champion in their lineup, so there could definitely be some shenanigans going on. And I can already see Sacramentum grouping up, walking towards that bot side.
This will be the swing down into the bottom bush. I believe my directed camera is broken as I'm still looking at a base platform. Take it away, Joe.
Yeah, they're grouping up. They're seeing the silver. They're coming in. They're looking for the hook. A ward has been placed in the tri-brush, but I don't think they're in range for the hook. If Cyphora wants to do it, he will have to flash if he wants to catch Ambitious Ram. But so far, they're just walking forward. Now, over a ward. They're still chasing. They're still walking. But it does not look like Vigorous want to give them an opportunity to make anything happen there. Their chance was there. Cyphora could have flashed and at least forced the flash from Ambitious Ram or force him to skill E level 1. Opted not to sacrifice the own flash for that. And while they're still standing around that warded red buff, I'm wondering if they are looking to steal it even.
They must know this is warded. I would have preferred a return to the top side and trying to make Commodore's life a little bit more difficult and equalizing on vision.
Oh, the hook misses. And there comes Ambitious Ram. It's a 3v3. It's an all-out brawl here. The hook lands from Rakuri, though, and now Wavy could be in a bit of trouble. There is the Ignite, though, onto JK. He flashes against the wall and could die to this Ignite. He just barely limps away. Rakuri flashes as well. Ignite coming down as well onto him, and this looks like first blood for Wavy. And that is a lot of summoners used to a lot of effect.
Okay, Odin most importantly managed to hit all members of Vigorous Gaming with his Q. That
level 2 gang.
Midnight takes a turn. It's probably going to be enough this time though. John Joe already pushing in, doing rumble things in this top lane. I tried for a Super Galaxy pun. I'm struggling.
Yeah, but he's level 2 first, so he's gonna try to look for the punish, but a lot of minions prevent him from auto-attacking a bit. He is winning the war when it comes to the health department at the moment, though Commodore with that corrupting pot will be just fine. As I said, here comes Wavy, misses the knockup, but they're still chasing. That's a lot of fire damage. If the blue buff decides to hit Commodore, he dies, and so he has to flash away. The mid lane is dueling meanwhile as well. That is a lot of chaos for the first 3 minutes of this game, and it's not done. They're chasing JK, who is still level 1. Coco with one more auto takes the kill. And that is the second one on the board. Janjo now flashing behind Blazing Midnight, forcing the flash from the Vel'Koz as well. He is overheated, so no more chase. Stun misses as well. Midnight will survive for now. Such chaos, and already over 1,000 gold for the side of Sacramentum in the plus.
Can't argue with it at all. It does mean the quadra buff will come out. Wavy just has to go and farm his own jungle now, and JKL will be in a absolutely awful position on the Sejuani.
Yeah.
is not easy to come back with a jungler that can clear quickly, and we're not currently playing one of those either.
Yeah, he's still level 1. He's just had to use the smite onto those Krugs. And this is a camp that takes a while to clear, so Wavy already level 3. JK just barely reached level 2 with that first camp, so not a great start for that Sejuani.
Alright, with the vision up on top side, Wavy's going to move down and deny the entrance for JKEL into... Oh, JKEJ? JKJ? We're going to call him JKJ.
He did say in lobby he wants us to say JK just
Okay.
as if they were only the first 2 lobbies.
Maybe I was only joking with my... I'm going to go that far.
I am sure you were.
Intentional. Oh, Wavy, you're still going! JK punished. He's gonna struggle. I think he just about... No, he had to give up his chickens here. Wavy will farm them out. Holy moly,
no.
this is a bad time.
Yeah, it's 4 CS for the side of JK. That is 1 camp, while Wavy's already on 5. He has been having a terrific split. I almost wanted to mention it in Champ Select, but I think now is a better time to say he has been popping off this split so far, having some tremendously strong games. 5-0 and 9 Trundle game, a 10-4 and 12 set game, and now he wants to show us that the Jarvan's just as good, but the hook lands here, and Ambitious Ram falls. Either the shield was down or pressed too late, but that was an easy kill. Zyphora wants that for himself on the Blitzcrank, but Urban will not be complaining, I think.
I don't think Urban will be complaining at all. Continuing to stack his cult up here. That's got to feel really good. That item gets better and better the more you get ahead, the quicker you get that 180 gold bonus tax just for playing the game. And holy moly, that's going to be a difficult bottom lane to keep going here. This is so fragile. Has the tools.
Oh no! Drakuri gets hit by another Blitzcrank hook, has to dash out here.
It's a shame the second trap was missing, or Urban could have made that a guaranteed hit confirmed kill. But, oh well, not quite there this time.
Yeah. It is already a lead of 2,500 gold, not even 6 minutes into this game. That already looks pretty dismal for the side of Vigorous. They're gonna have to make some kind of miracle play happen, while Sacramentum are already starting this Dragon up after 6 minutes of play. They are speedrunning this game.
When you're this far ahead, why not? Just keep going. Just keep the tempo on. It will be the win condition for the Caitlyn regardless of what happens. So pushing on forwards is all the more important. Jakey is still without a buff, unfortunately. Does mean he's gonna just have to dawdle on along, keep farming his camps till this level 6, look for an opening if there is one. Maybe Zyphora with a bad hook can set up a 3v2 in the bottom lane, but we're setting a lot of conditions for the only way for Jakey to play here. It is not to be underestimated as incredibly difficult right now. Wavy's going to continue on clearing his jungle. I'd like to see him look for a level 6 and try and get Coco rolling. Now that the bot lane of Oban and Zyphora are comfortable, instead you have to maybe move somewhere else. The Herald swap could be primed here. This could be it.
But it is another minute until the Herald spawns, so if that was their plan, the recall would be a little bit too early from Oban and Zyphora there. So I think they're not going to be opting for that just yet.
With the wave where it is, you don't really want to recall, walk back down for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
One wave and then walk back for 30 seconds. Like, it's too much time lost. Any time after 6:30 is a reasonable Herald swap timer. Instead, we might be looking for a set piece around middle with Wavy. So as you say the words, they've gone.
Yeah, they're going for it. They don't care about these bot waves right now. Wavy's in the enemy jungle, just stealing away just as much from JK as he possibly can. And it's not feeling good to be Sejuani here to dash over the wall and get the Gromp stolen as well. Oh, it's gonna be so... feels so bad for JK. He has to feel like Dyrus did in Season 5. He's a jungler, and so it feels even worse, because where can he go?
If anything, he feels like Season 1 Dyrus. Who,
oh, yeah.
Way back when. So we're going to see instead a swap from the mid lane with Coco. This sort of swap does enable the Aurelia to farm safely. It keeps the pressure on Blazing Midnight as Ambitious Ram and Rakuri not able to 2v2 effectively or 2v1, sorry, into level 7 Aurelia. So this pressure dynamic does keep the Herald easily accessible. And of course, with Jakey in such rough shape, it was always going to be hard for the top side of Vigorous Gaming to challenge.
Yeah.
Instead, Jonjo is just going to keep the pressure up in top lane. We're going to move Blitzcrank through the jungle, and Wavy will be taking the Herald nice and quickly.
Yeah, and in addition, while that was happening, Urban picked at least one plating up for himself as well. Just look at the mid lane farm too. 3rd TCS ahead already for Coco, over Blazing Midnight. Top lane slightly ahead for Jonjo. Wavy doesn't even care he's being hit by the hook. The hook comes back onto Rakuri from Zyphora. They just play with so much confidence right now. They know they're ahead, they know they're far ahead, and they are showing it with their confidence. 3,000 gold the lead. Herald pops in the mid lane. This could already be first tower, and the hook lands onto Sejuani, who is at least a bit tanky. Ult comes out here from Blazing Midnight, and Coco can ult all he wants. He will give the first kill of the game back to Vigorous while the mid tower falls, though, and so the lead again over 3,000.
I'm not sure I like the mid tower going down here. It's going to make Coco's lane state a little bit difficult to play, and as we just saw, the lead he's generated not quite enough in the 1v1 to just Hail Mary into your opponent, and now that JK has that avenue and can gank that middle lane quite easily, it's going to get a little bit more difficult. Hooks are coming through, and me and Joe are having some heart attack moments over here. But,
yeah. It's too hot to have heart attacks there. Jonjo is bullying Commodore as well, which is quite surprising after Commodore has picked up that Spectre Skull. That is normally the point in time where Poppy doesn't care about the rumble damage as much. He's not yet able to properly fight back though, so Jonjo still... Oh, that is a flash hook that misses Zyphora with the overconfidence now. Gives the second kill to Blazing Midnight, who in addition to that solo kill from earlier now has 2. Now Commodore gets slain, the carpet on top of his face, and has to... Oh, what a flash from Jonjo, dodging the Poppy ult. There comes the throwback, though, pushing him into the wall. He's overheated, he has to run away. Flash forward from Commodore, can he get the auto attack? No, he hits the ward, and now none of them can dare to walk any steps more forward. They're both on a sliver of HP, but none of them fall, both with good plays. I need to breathe.
That was close. All right, that all started off with when did that start off? The flash forwards from Zyphora in bottom. We need to maybe chill a little. We can still hold the tempo without killing our opponents on sort of their death timer cooldown. Jonjo's been found by JK.
That was a bit of an overextension from Jonjo. He did not know where the jungler was until JK gets a free kill for himself. That will make him really happy after how he's been behind in the jungle. That kill gold will be really, really valuable as he's still by himself around 1,000 gold behind Wavy.
Alright, Wavy starting up the second dragon, but it is not without contest. Commodore is here on the bottom side. Cooldowns might be missing, but Zyphora is in so deep.
Yeah, he's alone against 4 people, and that is a lot of Vel'Koz damage. That's a good stun from the Poppy. Commodore helps his team to a kill. Ambitious Ram picks that one up. The dragon has been taken by the side of Sacramentum, but now they have to run away as fast as they can. Hunt outlands onto Urban, he flashes away from the stun. Missed on the Sejuani ult, but Rakuri with his own ultimate picks it up. Deep down under the waves is Urban now, because he's been slain by the X where the spot was. And now the stun lands onto Jonjo. It's still a 2v4, but JK's health bar is shrinking and shrinking. He has to get away from this, but it's another kill. Oh, here's Coco. Lands the ult. He's in the middle of 4 people. Good W from Poppy. Stuns him against the wall. Knockup comes in from Wavy, but Coco has been slain already. The hook from Blitzcrank misses. Now Wavy's in way too deep, and 4 people. Gets 2 kills for himself. The Triumph fields him up by 400, and a Commodore can pick that one up with the help of Blazing Midnight. It's an all-out brawl here. Health bars keep shrinking. Jonjo solos. Zyphora's their double kill for Blazing Midnight. He, though, falls to the Caitlyn ultimate. And now Jonjo has to run away from Commodore. These teams do not give me time to breathe, as Jonjo has to still walk away from that Poppy. And popping off is Commodore with one more auto attack. The 2-0-3 now on this Poppy. And suddenly the gold is a lot more close. It's still around 2,000 for the side of Sacramento, but Vigorous are fighting back vigorously.
Do you remember when Sacramentum had a gold lead?
It was 4,000 back then, and now Open a kill away, way overextended in the mid lane. Ambitious Ram picks it up. That's just where they want the gold. The pizzas are flying now, and it's only 1,500 instead of 4,000 gold, where it was at one point.
All right, it's really unfortunate. Vigorous.
Not stopping.
On
Ignite on, Blade of the Ruin King on, so much damage on the Commodore. He picks up his own shield, but I don't think it can be enough. Coco is bad, one more hit will do it, but he's tanking the tower shots. He gets the kill with a Q, survives another tower shot, but JK is coming. That kill will cost him his life. Oh, the outplay! He gets the outplay, he kills the jungler, and the Triumph heals him up for another few hundred HP. He may even survive this. Well, in the top lane, Zyphora and Jonjo going for Blazing Midnight. The knockup does not land, and so the Vel'Koz falls. X marks the spot of Coco's death. Meanwhile, now Rakuri has to get away, gets the heal from Ambitious Ram, and lives with that. These teams should not stop fighting. 20 kills in 14 minutes.
Oh my gosh, he's still going on to Rakuri.
Wavy doesn't stop, but now he's 1v2 in between towers. This is not the best position to be, even though Ambitious Ram is low on mana. He does have a red buff. Wavy manages to walk away, though.
Let's take a breath, Joe. Let's take a breath.
Maybe I'm allowed to breathe now.
Now is the time. Now is the time. This all spawning, unfortunately, from Sacramentum's over aggression onto infrastructure. Even when you're ahead, there is a pacing to doing things, especially with Caitlyn, who can readily attack infrastructure by taking those two towers in the middle lane. They've balked their own lane assignments. Notice that Coco is still coming down here in the bot lane to farm. Cannot currently control the mid lane. There is too much opportunity for JK, even from behind, to get in here, and we'll go for another wave.
Another fight here. Poppy comes in from the flank, deals a lot of damage to Zyphora, while Sacramentum were trying to steal that blue buff. It did land on Blazing Midnight just where it's needed, but these traps will prevent a lot of the charge into that Herald area, but they're still in time. And Zyphora had to flash out of that Herald or slash Baron Pit to live, because he's so low HP. That Herald will fall. It does go to Vigorous. And no deaths so far, but Jonjo is very far pushed up. If he doesn't leave right now, he will be collapsed on, and that is why he's leaving.
Alright. A little bit of overextension again from Sacramentum. They had no real right and no priority to start up with that Herald. And Jonjo overextending a little again now.
He has to flash to dodge the hook. It would have hit him had he not flashed. And all that just for one jungle camp. So a bit of greed there from Jonjo. Manages to live, but it costs him the flash.
That's okay. Like, we have to do those respect flashes. If you don't, you're asking for the gold to go back over to the opposing team. So, now with a very weird game state, T2s are still up in the sides, but not in the middle. So this allows Vigorous Gaming to park someone in middle. Civ, you know what, Civ is pretty good at being parked somewhere and hoovering up loads of farm. Will always auto-push into them. And while they can concede their corners of their south and west side jungles, to Sacramentum for Vision, they cannot completely lose them because of the time in the game. We're only at 16 minutes, single core items on most of the carries for Sacramentum. They cannot just run into places and control them. Talking of which, Zyphora.
Yeah, he's dead. There comes the flank though from Coco, hits the ultimate, and 4 people are being attacked. Wavy is not as tanky as he thinks he is though. That is so many deaths on the side of Sacramentum, and that is another one, and X marks the spot once again. It's a double kill for Rakuri, and this first Dragon of the Ocean Soul, your beloved Ocean Soul, will probably go to the side of Vigorous, and they're clawing this gold lead back. It's even gold after they were 4,000 gold, almost down at 6 minutes. They get the Ocean Dragon as well, and now Jonjo being attacked. The X does not mark his death, but Commodore picks that one up. The Poppy that's so often banned against them, used to great effect. They're going to summon the Herald they got earlier, and this is the first time in the game they have the gold lead. Team Vigorous, 3,500 gold down at 6 minutes. Suddenly they're 1,000 gold ahead 10 minutes later.
The combat is very much enabled. This is going to be mostly on Sacramentum not knowing how to play when they're that far ahead. It is a real shame. They've definitely fettered this one away themselves, and they have to now take stock, take a minute, return to their lanes, reassess what they can and cannot do in these moments. They still have CS leads in many lanes. The kill bounties upon the opposing bot lane is likely to become a micro objective.
Yeah.
You haven't got a lot else coming up in the next few minutes, so we have to reassess, reassign our lanes, reassess the vision situation. There's going to be a bit of a blind spot around middle, and that's to do with the state of the game at the time. Wards are not coming up at enough of a pace. The pink ward budget is still quite low and quite spread out across the map. We do not have a small unit working through the middle just yet, with Wavy still farming for his next core item. Instead, we're going to have to take stock, center around a new lane, not force a play, get priority, do it slowly, do it properly, and make sure that Vigorous Gaming have to work for the next one.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of taking stock, I'm looking through the inventories of these champions right now. Despite starting with the Spectre Skull, Commodore has opted to go for armor from then on, so he's already finished the Sunfire Cape. On the other side, the surprising factor, with Wavy having been so far ahead in the early game, he still opts to go for the complete tank build. He got that Cinder Hulk and is now going for the Knight's Vow to help the Caitlyn carry better. Another hook misses.
Okay, maybe could be seen onto the Aurelia this game as well. Likely to take a bit more damage and inspire a bit more burst healing for the Jarvan. As a vulnerable measure. Unfortunately, will not be reducing the Vel'Koz's disintegration rate. It could go either way, frankly.
Yeah, that is going to disintegrate some people at a 5, 3, and 5 standing for Blazing Midnight. He is pretty rich at this point in the game. Not as rich as Coco is, because of that farm difference of over 50, but still he's doing quite a lot of work with these disintegration rates so far.
Definitely the advantage to be found for the Vel'Koz here. Will continue to scale fantastically as long as Sejuani holds the shooting gallery still. Will be able to melee out tons of damage across the Rift. Urban unfortunately going for the attack speed item second. This is not currently the optimal way to play Caitlyn. The most optimal is 3 BF sword items of Razor, Edge, then Reaver. But you can sometimes move the Reaver across. Caitlyn pays a pretty bad penalty for her attack speed purchases in shop. You guys in chat will know this as the attack speed ratio. In addition to the attack base and scaling, we have the ratio, which determines how much you actually get of what you buy. Caitlyn starts off with a strong attack speed and scales reasonably well, but pays a large penalty on her purchases. So that's still not going to go quite as far as we'd like at this time, whereas we consider low penalty, so should be picking up a reasonable amount of attack speed with her innate scaling and resets that does get out of hand and is known colloquially as the 400 CS Sivir win condition.
Yeah, also Sivir having an auto attack reset and that is as well an auto attack steroid does make it a lot easier to just build damage, but also able to build that attack speed with these boomerangs from the W on. Profits a lot from having more attack speed with the innate steroid or not.
We have a set piece play here. We're not going to go for it. I think if Wavy and Zyphora just take like a step back there and get Coco to position next to the wall, we have a set play with Aurelia ulti. But we're going to dodge on that one this time. I think it would have been a little bit over the top anyway. We do not need to be making these picks at this time. We just need to chill, get the vision ready, get the objectives ready, play to what we need to, move around Poppy's, I don't want to call it the slow zone, the anti-jump field, of which the name I cannot remember, and I'm totally not looking up right now.
The steadfast presence, you mean?
Steadfast presence.
Yeah, especially with how this game has been going. They were so far ahead so early in the game, and now with the gold almost being dead, even 22 minutes into the game, I think Sacramentum have taken a little bit of a hit to their confidence when it comes to playing this game, at least. So they will be a little bit more careful with trying to catch people out with these Blitzcrank hooks. Speaking of catching people out, the next dragon has spawned and the next fight might be on. Everybody's here.
Right, we do have even TP footing, so we do not necessarily need to see Jonjo and Commodore here. I'd probably like to see Commodore here anyway. It's the steadfast presence being usable at a moment's notice and then teleporting out to nullify a TP advantage. Or TP agency from the opposing team. It's likely the way to go. Jonjo is going to enforce off here at the side. This is a good thing to do with the equalizer. It will allow perfect
Oh, he's been
positioning
caught
to be
now.
vulnerable.
There come a lot of flashes, and here comes the Vel'Koz zone. There is the disintegration ray. Shutdown goes to Jonjo, though. He will pick up Rakuri on the other side of the fight, though. Everybody's falling, and suddenly Sacramentum, who have been looking against the momentum, suddenly pick up everybody. It's an ace for only 2. And there was so much going on at the same time. I cannot tell you everything that happened, but the result is 3 alive for the side of Sacramentum, a dragon in their pocket, and 5 deaths on the side of Vigorous, and suddenly momentum is right back where it was in the beginning.
All right, huge props to Jonjo taking up that
Yeah.
position even when he becomes vulnerable does allow the perfect equalizer. Blazing Midnight trying to set up only deals massive damage to Zyphora and makes himself vulnerable to Coco. That will allow the Irelia to dance through the backline when the Poppy thought she had to be somewhere else, thought she had to be enforcing with Sejuani. And instead, that will be the start of the Baron. The Blade of the Ruin King doing a lot of work here, and in tandem with the Landry's, lots of maximum health damage. Zyphora is going to be here in time. This should be the finish.
Yeah, Rakuri is here. He's trying to disrupt as much as he can, but the Baron's already down to 2,000 HP. It will fall to Sacramentum. Here comes the TP from Commodore. He's in the middle of everybody. The Baron has already been picked up, so they concentrate on the enemy team. But it's a shutdown on Coco already, and that's 2 more quick kills for the side of Vigorous. The Baron cost them 3 lives already, and the chase is on. Can they save at least 1 or 2 Baron buffs? The chase comes in onto Urban. Can the hook land? Rakuri hits the hook, and that will be a dead Eddie carry. Caitlyn cannot get out of that situation. Urban falls, and only Wavy carries the buff still of that Baron. Again, a little bit of overconfidence from the side of Sacramentum costs them a bigger lead they could have had.
Definitely the nerves there in the moment, not sure whether to run away or fight in the Baron pit, but of course you cannot take that fight. All cooldowns used in that last major fight before Ocean Dragon and the fresh resets for your enemies mean that that fight is completely unplayable. It is just too much. Not all the members of Sacramento could be there, and even when they were there, it was jilted, they were off position. Zyphora going for the hook is a little bit questionable, should instead be looking to heal stuff like Commodore away from his team, give Urban and Wavy the best chance of escape. And it's got to feel really bad for Sacramento. You managed to secure the big objective, but your power play is immediately shut down.
Yeah, and the only reason Sacramentum are still ahead in gold is their massive farm leads in some of these lanes. Coco still around 70 CS ahead of Blazing Midnight, and Urban also around 30 ahead of Ambitious Ram. But apart from that, the gold lead has shrunk once again after that big team fight made it bigger to around 1,500. And with only 1 Baron buff, and there's a fight, it's a skirmish, it's 2v3, Blazing Midnight is the target, he has to flash away, gets a good knock-up, and that is what I call a life form disintegration ray, disintegrating Zyphora, and bringing Urban very low on HP. The Caitlyn ult comes out, Ace in the hole not finishing off the Vel'Koz. There comes Jonjo trying his damnedest to do damage, but the Flame Splitter not gonna do all too much. The side of Vigorous can limp away, get a kill out of that, what looked like a dire situation in the beginning with the 2v3.
Alright, Vel'Koz mains, take note. If you can't funnel people into terrain, if you run away from them, they tend to run towards you or pile up on top of each other, and that is the perfect time to spin round, turn and burn, and ult them into oblivion. Burning Jonjo's teleport here, pretty significant as well. We're looking to have Commodores come up just after the dragon, so can be pretty confident in a slow dragon take. That teleport will be available. Jonjo's used for not much avail in the bottom side, was just a strict team fight. And I think after using Wavy's Cataclysm and letting the opponent run away, getting Blazing Midnight's Flash, that play should have just...
Yeah, I do want to give an LS-induced props to Jonjo. He's not finishing that Morelos. He's building a needlessly large rod on top of that Oblivion Orb he has. I do hope he's not finishing that book that shall not be named, because there's not all too much healing on the other side. And the spell pen is all he really needs at this point. He just needs more AP, he needs more damage, he needs to burn these people down with these big equalizers, needs to maybe kill even the Vel'Koz or the Sivir just by standing on that flaming carpet to make the team fights for his team just a little bit easier.
Alright, the healing, you're right, won't matter for now. Eventually Poppy and Sivir and Pyke will all demand the grievous wounds, but you're right that they're not immediate needs. Interestingly enough, JK not going for Triumph, so also demand the healing.
Hook already used the dash against 3 people. He might fall. He's already been silenced again. That's a lot of auto attack damage from Caitlyn. Wavy picks up the kill, and that is a crucial catch for the side of Sacramentum. Not all too long before this Soul Point Dragon is spawning.
Alright, we're going to highlight for the audience. This is what Caitlyn does when she gets the second BF sword. Forget that attack speed item. That one might as well not exist. Then picking up the third continues to make these auto attacks that we're used to doing like quite frequently, doing a fifth of someone's health over and over and over, do a third. They come out slightly less quickly, but in the moment-to-moment, one big headshot can turn a team fight. And we're going to see Urban move into this in the coming minutes. This is why Caitlyn is so popular on this patch. You do see Vigorous Gaming coming in for a contest.
Coming.
A little too slow.
Dragon's already be slain. Ocean Soul for the side of Sacramentum, but the team fight could be on. Commodores in the middle of the pit. Speaking of the pit, the Lifeform Disintegration Ray not doing as much as it should. And there is the Flaming Carpet. Shutdown goes to Coco. 2 kills already for the side of Sacramentum, and they're chasing. Jonjo's getting 2! And that was a big play from him there, getting these Flame Spitter flames out, and it's 4 dead on the side of Vigorous, no dead on the side of Sacramentum. And finally, after such a long time, it does look like they can win this game with the next push.
Alright, Ocean Soul, as we all know, completely redonkulously broken. It's in fact so broken it's broken Coco's computer for the moment, so we will have a port coming on out. JK not being there is kind of the end for that, and I would have preferred to see Vigorous Gaming look for either an earlier contest and then getting JK in before the Dragon goes down by pushing the 4v5, although Sacramentum know it is the 4v5 and do have the tools to engage. That is a high-risk option. Instead, allowing the Ocean Soul to go down, manipulating your waves and setting up full Baron in a minute. If you can get that without a straight fight, and you do have the tools to do so with JK's ultimate and Ambitious Ram's current power level, would enable them a small window back into the game, and then coin flipping Elder Dragon at 6 minutes time is the way back in. Doing that without giving 4 kills over, probably more optimal than risking it without. The sort of contest from over the wall only really works when your jungler is there. Instead, you have to move it into position to push your opponents off of the set piece that is the dragon. It's quite hard to do this with a Vel'Koz, but setting up with Sejuani and Pike can always enable this. Even in the open field.
Yeah, gotta say though, even if you're trying to steal this, if your Sejuani is there, JK is still a level behind Wavy, so that's just a little bit of damage on less on the smite. And also, like, running at people sounds fine with the Sivir when she's fed. And some champions on the side of Vigorous are champions that want to run at you, but I can tell you one champion that does not want to run at you, and that is their most fed member in the Vel'Koz. So he'll set up for the side of Vigorous, and they pay the price by 4 deaths, and now the gold lead is back to around 3,500, where it was around 22 minutes ago.
Have you spotted Rikuri's vision score?
Yeah, it's 98. That is pretty big.
Rikuri, that is some hard work.
We have got to say, though, while the 98 is creditable and is very, very impressive, the Umbra Glaive always really buffs up your score when you're playing a champion that can use it. And it looks like we're unpausing again this time. Once again, 3,500 gold is what Vigorous have to claw themselves back from. But before all their members respawn, it's probably going to be a little bit more, because Sacramentum are looking for towers, and they have a Caitlyn.
We do love our Caitlyn versus infrastructure moments. Importantly enough, Coco with the Death Dance as well now, with the Nyan invulnerable in his team fights. It takes a lot of healing reduction to take down a Death Dance and Ocean Soul in tandem. We should just be chill. This inhibitor is gone. Is someone going to leave a ward behind, guys? No. Okay. So
maybe none were in the because there's.
We see one in the bush. But that should just be in the central gate of the opposing base, guys. So you can just see all the ins and outs. Not quite breaking out. Coco will reset as well. 13 seconds on this Baron will be the next play. Neither team with vision up here, so will be a slow movement.
Sivir ult has been proc. They want this fight before the Baron now, but they're not managing to get any CC down, and so that on the hunt has been kind of wasted here. They're storming towards the Baron to be the first there to secure vision, though. Maybe they can make something out of that.
So do have control wards in 4 inventories, but Rikuri is...
Oh, Jonjo, no! You're in the middle of 4 people. Jonjo, my friend, you look pretty dead to me, and that is X on his death spot. Rikuri picked another one up. 7th kill of the game for the Pike, and now they're chasing Zyphora. Hook lands with the flash. Another great play from Zyphora, and it's 2 dead on the side of Sacramentum. And just as the momentum was on their side, suddenly they have 2 deaths, and the Baron's alive.
That is a real struggle. Sacramentum should have felt confident to move slowly on that one. They know that Vigorous Gaming do not have the greatest take in the world, and even if they ult pile on straight away, it would then allow them to
Oh, look at these Caitlyn autos. That is so much. Ace and Hole comes through, Blazing Midnight, forced to tank it for his support. Wavy still a level above JK. He could steal this, and he does not manage to. Gets pushed into the wall by Poppy and will fall for this. Shutdown goes to Ambitious Ram. And there is a life form disintegration ray. Heal cannot save Urban. Coco is in the middle of everybody. He gets one kill back. Can he get JK as well? No, he has to turn around because Commodore and Ambitious Ram do so much damage together. He's still trying. He gets a double stun. Gets knocked up himself as well by JK though. Here comes the Flaming Carpet. Doing so much damage. Jonjo has teleported in from behind. Gets one for himself on the AD carry. Cannot get to the Sejuani though. The movement speed is not on his side. They're gonna chase Commodore to death though. And I cannot tell you which of these teams is throwing more, which of these teams is coming back more, but they still sure love to fight. Commodore still not dying. He's so tanky on the Poppy. The shield destroyer from the Blitzcrank ult though will cost him his life. Rakuri in the middle of two people will fall. Jonjo is bringing his team back into the game almost by himself with that teleport, with the assistance of Coco jumping into all of them, baiting them into that fight.
Well, their Baron power play lasted even less time than Sacramentum, so we're going to give Sacramentum a little bit of props there. They ricochet back from an explosive Baron loss to an explosive Baron shutdown. Does cost them quite a lot, but hey, maybe it's worth it. The gold's sort of equalizing out now. We're at the start stage where champions start to matter a lot more than the items they have bought. Oben, you're gonna get 3 BF swords eventually, buddy. Come on, I can believe in you. This is the new tech this weekend. And, you should definitely be on it. Jonjo picking up a little blasting one, so looking towards that void stuff to continue to be the AP carry for his team. Probably needs to weave the Zhonya's in there as well if he's going to be doing this battling of close and personal stuff.
He's got
But
that
otherwise,
a nice hat though.
It's a very nice hat. It's very stylish. Uben, as I4, most importantly, has picked up the Shirelias. This is the kind of dynamic we need to see out from Sacramentum. We need to be making the pushes forwards, looking for these picks. Shirelia's Reverie so strong at the moment. I can't remember the exact stat, but the item has an absurd win rate when bought first or second on nearly every support that can conceivably be.
Also, Coco already being in the General Grievous stages of the game. He's got 4 weapons. I'm not sure if he has 4 arms like the Star Wars
What is
General.
that before? What?
I don't know.
What?
Maybe he wants to break Sejuani's or Poppy's armor even more than he's already doing with the big auto attacks he's doing. I'm also not entirely sure about that buy.
It's
But
effective on cheat, but also you could have just bought more damage.
yeah,
I think.
the last whisper is the same amount of gold as a BF sword. He could be
Yeah.
building towards an Essence Reaver already. Speaking of things that are important, the Elder Dragon is soon coming up in less than a minute, and this will probably be the fight that decides the game. It's still close. We're still at a 1,000 gold difference between these two teams.
Okay, we're going
Sacramentum are laying a trap.
Oh yes, it's trap o'clock.
We have
Most
to be careful.
importantly, Vengeance.
Golf commentary comes in the hook. That's exactly where it needs to be. Ambitious Ram's already dead. The engage is here from the side of Vigorous, but I don't think it's really going to matter. The aim is he's already dead. Carpet falls. JK is already almost dead. Here comes Coco in the back line. Stuns Midnight. Kills Rakuri. And I think this Blitzcrank hook has decided the game.
Oh boy, what a trap 2 set. I was looking at the deep board there from Commodore, but never mind, it doesn't matter. The game's going to come to an end here, I believe. Oh, Zyphora with the call, or another member of Sacramentum to trap the Elder Dragon. Vigorous Gaming, no, they cannot set up for it. They must approach, but unfortunately their angle leaves much to be desired. Zyphora will make that one and go, oh, good, and oh, so easily.
We do have to question. Yeah, we do have to question Ambitious Ram a little bit for being in a position where he can be hooked, and he gets hooked again by the Blitzcrank as he's the first back alive. He cannot save the Nexus though, and after a very, very, very back and forth game, another win goes to Sacramentum, who managed to pull out the win against all the odds of their own attempts to throw.
The back and forth is one word for it instead. Oh boy, it's gonna be a a game of 2 tails. It's going to be Sacramentum winning and throwing, and then Sacramentum with a slow, controlled way back in, playing to their win condition, and just taking it down the way it should be. Oh, that is just a little bit of a shame for Vigorous Gaming. They had their moments. Sivir being the first person to check that is not even the worst thing in the world, but not being ready with a spell shield is a bit of a sin. And yeah, it's got to be Commodore or Ram, and unfortunately, Ram wasn't ready, and Urban just kept on going through. The Caitlyn dealing so much to infrastructure, Coco getting very, very invulnerable, getting the level 18 as quickly as possible. The Ocean Soul and the Death Stance means it is too hard for anyone to stand up to this Hypercarry Aurelia, and that will be the game for Sacramentum.
Yeah, congratulations to them, but their job is not done yet. It is quote unquote only 1-0 in the series between them and Vigorous, and we're going to have a short breather of about 5 minutes now before my voice is going to be tested again. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not sure my throat is, but we're going to be back in around 5 minutes. Do not touch that browser because we're in for a banger.
I was so sure of our love. I never thought of any reason, a doubt about us. And now I'm right back at the start. Halfway through a bottle, baby, and nothing's enough. I thought that I could keep it low. Take it easy, take it slow. We ended up just like before. So take it easy, take it easy. I thought that I could keep it low. Take it easy, take it slow. We ended up just like before. So take it easy. And you know how to forget all the wrongs and every reason why we've changed. And there's a storm inside my head. It's getting me in trouble, baby, and I can't break away. I thought that I could keep it low. Take it
All right, all right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to what is promising to become a banger of a series between Sacramentum and Vigorous. Game one was very, very, very back and forth. In the end, Sacramentum pulled out the win after a clean blitzcrank hook on the enemy Sivir. We're back in Champ Select. I'm Multigiant with Temporal. Temporal, tell me, what do you expect from this second one?
All right, we saw Sacramentum have a steady win through after a couple of large bumps. We got to smooth those bad boys out. We got to repave that road and just go smoothly into the night here. It's going to be on vengeance to turn something around. They've already shown the poppy pick, but they've got to like throw a huge spanner in the works. As we saw, when the Sacramentum machine isn't stalling, it drives forward smoothly, and we have to try and see Sacramentum keep things as smooth, as controlled as possible, whereas Vigorous Gaming have to throw all of the children out with the bathwater. They have to throw all of the spanners into the works. They have to try something here to upset the balance.
Yeah. First thing that will be an attempt to do that is banning the Irelia, with which Coco looked pretty threatening in that first game. Apart from that, not much difference in the bans. Ezreal, Diana, and Set from the side of Sacramentum. They're looking to first pick the Caitlyn as well, and Thresh and Shen on the other side on the bans. There it is. Caitlyn first pick. I'm expecting an Ashe now.
I would hope so. Maybe Caitlyn B1. Come on, John Joe, you can do it. Yeah, there we go. That's a competitive B1 these days. It does make for the biggest question, and we've seen that Sivir Pike has been the answer going backwards, but that does allow the Morgana to come through. This is the 65% plus win rate bottom lane in all elos across the board. It's completely stonks, and when you're given it just this early in draft, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
You
Caitlyn
know what? We're
Morgana.
not even going to pick it.
Yeah,
Sacramentum.
they just want the salty run back. They're gonna get the Blitzcrank again for that PTSD for the side of Ambitious Ram. Get it in, get the hooks, and it's hook versus hook again, and it's Caitlyn versus Sivir again. So far, the salty run back, but a few champions have been banned
You know
to
what?
prevent
We're just
more
going
of
to play
that.
the same game. We're just going to play the same game, Joe. We're just going to do it on the other side. Why not?
to
Why
prevent
not?
to prevent more bannings, they're picking one of the champions up that were picked. So 3 of 3 for Sacramentum so far. Let's see if the trend holds. That will be the Vel'Koz pick. Am I having a deja vu right now? I'm not entirely sure. I thought deja vu was in Division 1 by now.
Anyway, yep, we're not going to see Aurelia in the first round, as the red side, of course, does get that double pick right at the end. Instead, we're going to see Jarvan, and holy moly, it's going to be on Vigorous to change the draft. Otherwise, we're going to be running it straight back. In fact, I can't see Sacramentum letting Poppy through now that we've seen the Jarvan picked.
Yeah, also the Aurelia is banned, so at least one change will be there for the side of Sacramentum. Syndra is the next ban. An interesting one. So they're still trying to thin out Coco's pool here.
Syndra still has a pretty decent timer to Vel'Koz. She may no longer be the prize queen of the mid lane, but can definitely lay down a lot of hurt and have that good neutral or better laning phase scaling into teamfight controller. Last ban. This is going to be Kennen. All right, we're going to call it. It's going to be Kennen then Poppy.
Yeah, it is not too unlikely, but it is Akali. So still going for Coco. They still want to put Coco on anything less comfortable than they can. The Poppy we were correcting. So 50-50 here. Now let's see the first picks coming through. What do you expect here?
All right,
No!
not a huge surprise. I would maybe prefer something else. What would I prefer? There we go. Trundle would be
There
pretty
we go.
decent. We'll make it hard for John Joe to pick up an Ornn or a Maokai here. Instead, we'll have to go for something a bit more team fighty, a bit
Also-
more proactive instead of reactive on those
Also-
tanks.
Also a little bit flexible on the Trundle. Could technically go top, but it was banned in game 1. So JK, he has, as I said in Champ Select of game 1, looked very good on the Trundle so far. So it could be an avenue for them to change things up just enough to take the win. And the cannon that we thought was going to be banned has been picked up for Jonjo. Big pick of his.
Big pick of his. We do like Jonjo controlling every single team fight from everywhere on the map. Cannon has seen a reasonable amount of success in the LCK as well. Has an okay Jax matchup, not the grandest in the world, but can often deny that one. And looks like we're going to see Coco on this Echo. Has a decent time into the Vel'Koz. Doesn't enjoy the Death Laser, but can otherwise completely mess with Vel'Koz's wave management and just make it a pretty miserable time for the Space Dweller.
So, less changes than we probably thought when going into Champ Select of Game 2, but a few notable ones. Cannon might be a little bit similar to Rumble, but has its own peculiarities. On the other side, Trundle and Jax for the top side to just shake things up enough. We're going to have to see if Commodore can be as effective on a split pusher as he was on that Poppy. So who do you think is going to come out on top in this game too?
I think it's going to be pretty hard for Trundle to play the game. He's like a major job. The first is to deny Kennon's entry, like smooth entry into team fights. If that is failed, the Trundle pick is going to fall apart pretty fast. The Pike does have potential here for the slow team fight for cutting Echo off before he chrono breaks. But the onus here, I think, is on Sacramentum. They have similar tools to last time. They have the Blitzcrank, which is still largely unanswered here. It's going to be a real struggle for the side of Vigorous Gaming to get in and make ley lines into these lanes, get advantages, grow forwards from there. Instead, I can foresee like similar CS differentials at about 10 minutes. It's going to be a little bit of a struggle for them to push through Sacramentum here. The Caitlyn is enabled in the bottom lane, and oh boy, are we going to see some fireworks.
Yeah, this is looking, I hope, to be a similar banger than the first one. I just hope for not another 4,000 gold lead at 6 minutes, because with the comp they have this time, with that cannon that can influence team fights, I think a little bit earlier than a Rumble, could be over pretty quickly if that happens again. Also, the Trundle having a lot harder time coming back into a game put behind as the Sejuani was in game 1.
Would be the struggle. I think, especially as well, there is so much potential for anti-synergy with Blitzcrank and the Pillar that we're really getting dangerous here. The Jack should be a stronger side lane than the previous game with the Poppy, but there's always potential for it just not to work out here. And oh boy, I'm not liking this from Vigorous Gaming. It screams 5-person comfort, and just can't see the synergy. Jack Sivir is like a decent late game unit, but these people don't want to be next to each other until the fight before the game ends. It's really difficult for two resource intensive laners to set up appropriately around objectives without like large differentials in like assignments and the way that they're going to have to be on the map without sacrificing those resources.
Yeah, I gotta say though, when it comes to looking at the comps as a whole, you might be correct in saying it's a lot of comfort and maybe not as much cohesion. But Trundle and Jax are two champions that synergize pretty well, in my opinion, with the on the hunt. When Silver pops that R button, the Jax and the Trundle coming running at you with incredible speed, especially with that Trundle W as well, and the pillar slowing you down, they could find a little bit more of the fights that they want to set up, with Vel'Koz lagging behind, waiting for the fight to actually start to get that laser out. So while that might be true, I still expect the win for Sacramentum here. The comp looks a lot more well-rounded, but surprises might happen, as we've seen in Game 1. So I'm very much looking forward to this. And after a short video, we will be back to bring you Game 2 between Sacramentum and Vigorous.
All right, we are just getting loaded in for our second game of the night. Sacramentum looking to make this a swift 2-0. Or not so swift, maybe, if you watch that first game. It was a lot of fireworks over the challenges of Vigorous Gaming. Sacramentum currently sitting 3-0 top of the group for Div 2, and Vigorous Gaming is still looking for their first game win on the board. They have set themselves up with their comfort picks, and they are mostly ready to go, but it is going to be the struggle to see if they can get in on a Sacramentum team that has clearly hit their momentum.
What I have to say though is I really, really like the skins again that they're using. The Angler Jacks, the good old, just paint the champion in another color and give him a nice hat, and sell it as a skin. I still love the skin though with the fishing rod. I think it's a little bit more embarrassing getting beaten up with a fishing rod than with a lamppost.
I'm going to show my age here. I have Ice Hockey Jacks. I can't remember. The Mighty Jacks.
The mighty.
So, yeah.
Imagine if I played a real sport.
Imagine if you played a real sport. I do enjoy hockey pucking my opponents around the map. Recently got the God one out of a chest, so thank you, crafting system. But nothing quite beats joining the team on the ice.
Yeah, I really am looking forward to Jonjo on this cannon too. It's a pick he's been known for a long, long time. He's played it a couple times this split. Actually, only one time. It was banned a lot, but he did pick up the win in that game. And the team just looks like, apart from having a cohesive unit when it comes to the selection of the champions, still a lot of comfort. Still the Caitlyn, still the Blitzcrank. Cannon's a famous pick for Jonjo, as I said before, and Wavy on the Jarvan. Again, the only wild card here a little bit is that Echo for Coco. But it's not a champion he's not played before. He's played it in their first game against OGL, and he went 9-1. So nothing he's not played
small
before.
KDA, that
Just 13.
Yeah, just 13. Just small fry.
We can't all be deathless on one champion after 3 games, can we?
Okay, right. We are onto the Rift. I think, did Wavy go for Domination Rune second last game as well? That seems pretty aggro to me. Yep.
Right. With production syncing us up any second, we will soon be ready to go.
All right, we are out. People are moving. Pings down onto the minimap. We may see a repeat of the level 1 from last game. That does look like Sacramentum moving in a cohesive unit, Joe.
Everybody's bunched up. We're going to have a 5v5. Hopefully.
This was the first adaptation to Blitzcrank all those years ago. You do stack 5 in one bush. Even if he hooks one person, the value of the skill as a 5v5 breaks out reduced massively. Most importantly, coming in through him through middle, so they have the close angle onto this east side jungle. They go to just peel it back a little, not wanting to go too far. They're going to reassess their vision, and Sacramentum look to be cooling off.
Yeah, they're spreading out. Vigorous still in that brush. They're going to have to hurry to their lane soon. At least Commodore will have to. Because these minions are spawning relatively soon. It looks like they're realizing there's no invade happening and are spreading out as well.
With Trundle being able to take Pillar level 1 and then receiving an extended pull, or Commodore's 5-man Counter-Strike at level 1. Maybe Sacramentum just wanting to chill out a little. Jonjo doesn't do a whole lot at level 1 either. They just want to make sure this game goes a little bit more smoothly.
Alright, the jungle starts are coming in. Mirrored both on the bottom side of the map, as is often usual. Now let's see where the junglers are looking to put their champion, their additional manpower in the early stages of the game.
So the Trundle will do all of the small unit camps, as the Q has most efficacy there, stealing the AD back over. We see Jonjo get some auto attack arrest down. Always key in these cannon lanes, has opted for the Doran's Blade for that reason. Could also go the Cole in this matchup and a bit of cut down, but it is riskier. And the name of the game for Sacramentum here is keeping it smooth. You can see JK move on over to this top side. Don't you dare do those chickens, JK. Right, good work. He's pathing on over to the red buff. We'll be able to do these and Krugs and be able to get where he needs to go in the early game.
Go with the early level too.
Oh, the dodge not consuming the stack.
Oh, that's a hook. Lands onto Rakuri, gets a lot of damage from Urban as well. Has to use the flash, has been not ignited by Zephyr. I actually looked at that a little bit, but JK is in the top lane. They want Jonjo. The good thing for Sacramentum is Wavy's here. This could be a 2v2, or they could all decide to back off, which would be bad for Jonjo as he's separated from the wave. While the camera's in the bot lane, where another hook lands onto the support. Rakuri heal now from Ambitious Ram expanded as well. In the bot lane, not much more. Top lane, not much more seems to have happened. We're going back to lane state.
JK took a little bit of chunk, but otherwise Commodore not able to move forwards without the priority. The minions would be behind him and the 2v2 would be unfavored.
Oh no! Knock up lands, ignite lands, Blazing Midnight can only do so much. He gets first blooded on, and again, like in game 1, it goes to Wavy.
Like to be doing good work here. As soon as you hit the level 3 on the Jarvan, level 2 even sometimes, it's best just to run and grab as many flashes as possible. And if you grab a kill off the end of it as well, that's just a bonus. Gives you things to do for the next 5 minutes, some vulnerable laners to punish, and generally it's a good time.
Do have to say I'm a little bit impressed with Commodore here, keeping up in CS against the ranged champion of the cannon. Does pay with a good bit of his health bar for this though, so could pay off for Jonjo to be bullying him. Once Commodore will have to recall, he does have a lot of health pots though, so he's stacking up the health at the moment. The corrupting pot is empty though, while we could see something happening in the spot river.
I think we're just fishing for it. Coco looking for a safer reset. Contests the river crab, but it's a little too slow. JK will be running away with that one. You'll see a small reset here, small gold lead opening up in the bottom lane, but otherwise pretty neutral across the map so far.
So now this, without fights every 5 seconds, this will
It's
be a lot
unusual,
more.
though.
Will be a lot more about the farming game, about the macro game, and especially the farming game. If we're looking at game 1, should be something that benefits Team Sacramentum here, because in the first game they were farming a whole lot better than their counterparts, and so we'll have to look for the side of Vigorous to make the plays. They do want to get their Sivir to the late game point. They do want their Vel'Koz to get to 2 items to deal the damage he can do in team fights, but they can't just let Sacramentum farm up, because the mid game looks to be much stronger with the Echo, the Cannon, the Caitlyn.
Definitely, and it will scale out of hand if not checked.
Oh, that's a flash force by the stun, but now he's in trouble himself. He could flash away. He's trying to fight though. Gets a W off, flashes away himself. Both are on a sliver of health. He jumps onto Jonjo. That was a step too far forward. Commodore with a solo kill. And that was just not paying attention by Jonjo, I think.
I think that is some frustration born of not just auto-attacking previously and taking Commodore down. I think with Conqueror he could have done it, but otherwise has to just relax a little bit more. We're going to see the cross-map play down here. JK not able to contest this one, did show on Vision, but now Coco here to enforce with his neutral priority in middle. Will be the Ocean Dragon going down, enabling Sacramentum a little bit more in lanes that were already going their way.
The good news is we're not going to have an Ocean Soul. That much we know already.
Thank goodness. I enjoy interacting with neutral items.
The next dragon is going to be a infernal one, which does mean either Mountain or Cloud will be the soul. I do hope for not a Cloud Soul, because that is not worth much.
I enjoy Cloud Soul here with
Bifora wants the hook, forces the flash from Ambitious Ram. That would have hit him. And he did not have the shield because he's used it around 5 seconds earlier. So good on him to have quick fingers on the flash this time.
It'll be enough just this time, but losing that flash all important. Wavy will know about it. It will be timed in chat. And that will be a target in the minutes to come. It's not normal you have a vulnerable Sivir at this stage of the lane.
Oh, Midnight, it's a knock-up.
Work from Midnight knowing this matchup, casting the knock-up at his feet will deny Coco a little extra damage, and of course the flashiness of dodging away from it.
Oh, JK's on Vision.
I don't know how I feel about that. We should see swaps coming through soon. I think JK's here a little bit ahead of schedule.
If he could have gotten the kill onto Jonjo, would have been a pretty easy herald later on. Jonjo not having flash with a pillar behind him would have big trouble surviving a Jax that just jumps at him like this though. With a vision, there is the ultimate expanded from Jonjo. Commodore also used the ultimate, but this time he's got way less HP. If he gets the jump though, he could kill him, and he does the second solo kill of the game. And this Jax wants you to imagine what were the case if he had a real weapon.
John Joe, unfortunately, I think used to maybe using Conqueror here on the cannon. Looked like he wanted a little bit of extra damage and healing there. We'll pay for it in the top side. The swap does come through a little delayed now. We're not going to quite reach that Herald before the 8-minute mark. So it will be a wave or two before that one is taken down. And JK just going to pilfer this blue buff. I mean, he gets that one for free, sadly. John Joe going down, enabling that invade. So Wavy is now here. He knows that JK is nearby just before he shows him.
Oh, they want some pressure onto the mid lane. It doesn't look like a gank. He's been there a while. They've swapped the bot and top lane around. John Joe's in the bottom lane now, so they do look to make the play on this Herald.
They had vision control on Herald.
Oh, and now they don't. And here comes the engage. Coco jumps into 2 people, though. He didn't know JK was there.
Just
and that.
Leave,
Oh,
buddy.
oh, JK, what a hit from Sephora. Maximum range. There comes the ace in the hole. Gets got though, so no deaths at the moment.
That's gotta be Herald.
To say the least. But the Herald is still being fought, and it has been picked up by Wavy.
Okay, alright. Decent. I'm gonna call it enforcement work and not hard inting from Zyphora and Coco. That means that there will be no contest on this Herald.
Oh no!
My goodness.
Does use the shield very well to block the knock-up so he can walk away. Here comes Wavy, though, gets a knock-up onto Rakuri. The pike is pretty squishy, gets to the tower, but he's not on much HP. Blazing Midnight, meanwhile, have to use the barrier to live. And here comes the engage. Zephora's there, JK is there as well, but Rakuri will just fall, flashes away. Ignite kills him, though. Zephora picks it up, and they are now between towers, chasing these kills onto JK and Ambitious Ram. The Herald has been summoned. JK is in between a rock and a hard place on the wrong side of the map. Will be chased by Wavy. The tower has been taken a lot of damage from the plates. JK is trying to recall, but he knows there's no way out. There come Urban and Zyphora. They're gonna pick him up. Urban picks the kill up. 2,500 gold is the lead after 10 minutes. And the one shining sliver of light for the side of Vigorous is their top laner.
Commodore will be the backbone in the minutes to come. I'm not sure why Ram and Rakuri are coming back up here to this top lane. They do delay Urban's base, but that Infernal Dragon spawning in 35 seconds. 35 seconds, the last time you can recall before it starts to impact your ability to contest like immediately as soon as you walk up to an objective. You can definitely bleed plates on top tower here. We have to see the tempo continue. Ambitious Ram and Midnight need this gold. They need some way back into the game because it's not happening through their lanes. I don't think the plates for the Infernal Dragon is worth it, and John Joe is set up here to start a team fight against Commodore. We're just chilling a little bit too long, I think, when JK...
Oh, he wants it! Forces the ultimate from the cannon, that slicing Maelstrom, just doing a lot of damage, but is it enough? He does get the return damage, but there the force, flashes force, but Urban from downtown with the ace in the hole, and the Jax has been felled.
Alright, we'll be 2 plates over in the top lane, so equivalent to about a kill. But they secure the kill on the bot side and hand it on over to Urban. That is just exactly what Sacramentum want at this stage. They deny a couple of waves on Commodore, and we're still going.
And they got the Infernal Dragon as well. Since we now know that we have a cloud map, we're going to have a little bit more movement speed on some points in the map, and every dragon that's spawning until 4 are picked up by one team will be a cloud dragon. So ultimates, cooldowns galore for the rest of this game.
This is so key for John Joe. Like, proccing Cloud and then Phase Rush coming through without having to proc it before your ultimate is absolutely huge in the late game.
Alright, the game is slowing down again a little bit. They have stopped fighting for a second, as I say that. I hope just barely missed from the Curry.
State. We try no explosive stuff and we farm some plates in this moment. We do not need to do more, and I think doing more is maybe a mistake that would lead to cooldowns not being available in these next key moments.
Yeah, Ram just barely saving his top tower there against Coco. The lead is around 3,000. For the side of Sacramentum here, they pick up another plate. But then a hook lands onto Blazing Midnight on maximum range, and that's a dead Vel'Koz. Urban gets the kill as well, and that was just not enough attention paid for the side of Blazing Midnight. That little bit range increase on the Blitzcrank hook a couple patches ago, it's paying off for the second time today.
By the way.
A decrease. Oh well.
Decrease. These are max range hooks. Zyphora could have filled a montage in this game and the last alone. It is absolutely incredible work. And I just.
Commodore's waiting. There he goes. Stuns Jonjo. He has no ultimate this time, or does he? He does have the ultimate. Chooses not to use it though. Might be a level down, but Wavy's on the way. He's been saving his ultimate for that. There's Wavy. Misses the knocker, but still flashes and ultimates in. And here comes Jonjo. They want that kill onto Commodore. Slicing Maelstrom is used, forcing Commodore to flash. But he does well in evading the gank.
Alright, we spoke of not using too many cooldowns. Well, Cataclysm, I believe, will be available again. I don't think the Slicing Maelstrom is on a similar cooldown, and that means that we are going to be missing it for this next health contest. Looks like we're going to be maintaining AD carry in the mid lane, which is a decent compromise for the Caitlyn. If you do feel the need to push down this middle and feel is advantageous, something Sivir wants to try and capitalize upon happening. But if you feel that is like the way to go, and that's where you want to spread your vision over the coming minutes, a reasonable place to put Caitlyn. And it will look to instead contest the Herald from the middle lane instead of the side lane.
We're going to have to praise Sacramentum once again.
Oh no, not
Either it's the lane assignments or it's just the ability to last hit better than their opponents, but they are up in CS in every single lane. Even Jonjo, who's been solo killed twice, has more CS than Commodore. In the mid lane the lead is 30, in the bot lane the lead is 35. The CS leads are there in every single lane, and it's been paying off in gold. The lead's now almost 6,000 as Commodore tries it again. He wants to go to Jonjo, gets the stun, gets good auto attacks off the Q, misses, and Commodore with a third solo kill of the game onto Jonjo. Meanwhile, Blazing Midnight, though, will fall to the ace in the hole. They just donate the kill to Urban. It's a 1-for-1 across the map.
Nice style points, Coco. Really enjoyed that. It is a shame this Jax is starting to snowball out of control now. Merc Treads will be coming through soon, and it will be a challenge for Jonjo in the side. I think it is probably time to discount Ambitious Ram's scaling on this map.
Commodore, you're taking tower, right?
It is time to put the range top laner against the duo, and instead push Commodore down by getting Zyphora and Urban all up in his grove.
Meanwhile, the red buff is being invaded. Just more strength onto Urban, who is 4-0-1 on the Kate. And this time it's working. Rakuri goes through the middle of his own jungle while there's 3 enemies. Has to flash away. Gets knocked up by Wavy. Zyphora with the ultimate picks up the kill. And I do not know what Rakuri was thinking when he was going there.
I think we may have Blitzcrank burnout here from Vigorous. They are starting to play a little bit sloppily. They're not even going to contest this Herald, which will guarantee the next dragon if it is used. I'd like to see it like 5 seconds before dragon spawn. A nice, just enough time for the reset here. Get Jonjo out of lane with Commodore. Fix your assignments now. Get onto that dragon, and we continue the snowball forwards. A 6,000 gold lead at 15 minutes is exactly what Sacramentum want to see.
Yeah, it's a huge lead. I mean, we frequently see leads of similar sizes, but not this early into the game. 15 minutes for 6,000 gold is pretty huge. It is something you can, like, in actual pro play, see at 30 minutes or something normally. But even for VL, I think this is a big lead at 15, 16 minutes, accompanied by 2 dragons as well. So already Vigorous needs some kind of miracle to win this game, and there could be the miracle they needed. Urban will be killed, shut down by Blazing Midnight. Zyphora could be falling as well. He flashes away over the wall, but here comes the re-engage. Commodore is a pretty strong Jax. Imagine if he had a real weapon, though. The Slicing Maelstrom slices up the team, and that is so much damage, but just no kills yet. Coco falls to Ambitious Ram, and Commodore just occupies the team long enough for his own team to do the damage they need. There comes more Vel'Koz damage. Double kill, though, for Jonjo as he gets the kill into Blazing Midnight. Shutdown comes in for Rakuri, and the chase is just enough for Vigorous to easily win this fight. 3 members alive. No members alive except Urban, who's already respawned for the side of Sacramentum. And a fight win for Vigorous against all odds will secure them this dragon as well.
Alright, key point here was Urban was caught out. They traversed too far forwards, and JK got the pillar in behind, and then with Commodore flanking, that is all Blazing Midnight needs to have complete target selection onto Urban with the laser. It was not feasible for Sacramentum to stop that one straight away. So I believe Wavy had already used the flag and drag, and then Urban just, unfortunately, the fish in the barrel this time. They have to look to avoid that next time. I'd have liked to have seen the Rift Herald used, as it completely stops this 5-man death brush, as unfortunately the infrastructure on the side of Vigorous Gaming means they would have to respond or lose an inhibitor tower. And that would have just been the cake icing on top of the cake here. Sacramentum instead try and force the issue and get caught out and playing 2 Vigorous' win condition of just small team fights where Urban can go down, where Coco can't kill enough people, where John Joe's slicing Maelstrom isn't enough in the moment to moment to take out enough members.
4 members of Sacramentum in the bot lane. They are looking for a big push here. They're probably about to summon the Herald as the outer tower falls. The good news for them, after a lost team fight, their lead is still around 5,000 gold, and Jonjo gets engaged on by Commodore. That's big damage, and just only a little return damage. So Blade of the Ruin King heal, though, will mean there's a lot of health to be restored for him. Herald, though, has been summoned, will pick up the inner tower, and Rakuri has to run. He gets stunned, though. That's a knock-up, that's a death. And that was 2 overzealous to defend that inner tower from Rakuri. Now the Herald is still alive and will get a charge onto that inhibitor tower. And we know what Heralds do to inhibitor towers. They almost kill them in 1 charge. This could already mean a tower falling. Hook, that's a good vicious trap! How does he do it? Gets another hook. Eben gets another kill. What is happening? Sacramentum and the hooks from Zephora.
Forget Urban's pop-off performances. When will this man stop hitting max range hooks or completely dynamic hooks that completely end team fights? Just stop it, Zyphora. It is cyberbullying.
This could be an overzealous charge. He gets the flash forward. Will fall to Jonjo, though. He took like 4 tower shots. Why does he try the cannon?
Come on, guys. It's okay. He gets it all the same. Jonjo can do it his way. And I think Protobelt maybe shoots 1 beam behind you as well. So, you know what? Jonjo, you made the right choice there. But holy moly, Zyphora, calm down. There's only so much Vigorous Gaming can do to keep their spirits high and invigorated. And this Blitzcrank is causing all of those things to not work just now.
Yeah, come on. Turn the aimbot off, man.
So, yes, we can see that from over here. Instead, we're going to have to look to Vigorous Gaming's win conditions. If they take straight up fights, they still have hope. While Urban has popped off, we saw at that dragon, that cloud dragon, how they can nullify this and make Blitzcrank not the whole champion by making the fight break out immediately before any cooldowns are burned, before you're pulled away, taking out Urban straight away with some setup from JK and Blazing Midnight. It has to be the way through. Oh boy, it's going to be difficult though, as Zyphora has installed Auto Lock EXE and is sniping these guys at max range.
Yeah, we already have, again, as it was bumped by that dragon fight before, again the gold lead is around 6,500. They still have 2 dragons to the 1 cloud drake that is not going to be much worth in a team fight itself, as it just reduces the time between the moments there where you can team fight as a team. So in the fight itself, that Infernal Dragon will be much more useful. Also, the gold lead is still there, and that is, again, I have to mention it again, because of their huge farm leads. It's 50 CS for Coco, it's 50 CS for Urban, while Zephora could be caught by 3 people, but he is holding his own at the moment. With his team backing him up, they're forcing Vigorous to back away.
It's a shame that...
Oh no, Rakuri has to flash there! The hook was spot on again, forcing the flash from that support. He looked much better in game 1 on that pike. He could still find some hero plays, but at the moment, the hero looks to be Zyphora.
Absolutely, Zyphora RPGing this game. It's a shame that hook didn't hit the conduit. Would have ensured Urban one-shot Rakuri, and wasn't quite the way it was going down though. Zyphora could fish here again.
Oh, there's a flank. Commodore is here, Wavy's alone. There comes the counter-strike, flash away from Wavy, ensures no stun for the moment. The forward charge doesn't do anything, it's Zyphora with a backstage hook! I can't even say it correctly because it's happening every single time. Here comes the re-engage, Chandra with the slicing maelstrom. Trundle is dead as well. And the 2 tankiest members on the side of Vigorous have fallen. This surely should mean Baron.
Alright, in the moments before Vigorous try and set up their reverse team fights, their win condition, Commodore flanking in, setting up Midnight, it is just all on Zyphora. these max range hooks, it is completely unsustainable for Vigorous Gaming to go for these long fights. If they lose one of the key pieces at the start, they can only afford to lose ambition.
contest, yeah.
And even then, they can't do the long fights. You know what? Let's just do 2 objectives at once. We're just
Oh.
speedrunning at this stage.
Midnight's alive. This could be their doom, that they're choosing 2 objectives and choosing to not have Coco there. The contest is here. The Baron has been stopped. They might get this dragon, getting them to Soul Point, but having the Echo there could have helped them way more in securing this Baron before the side of Vigorous could respond, and they even have to stop trying to do the dragon, as the Echo alone is just not tanky enough to solo the dragon at this point in the game. And this will mean the second Cloud Dragon for the side of Vigorous for no reason. They just get it donated to them.
I wouldn't be too worried. Sacramentum don't really care too much about the soul at this stage. They are worried about Elder Dragon, and this does delay it by a further 5 minutes, which is definitely not the end of the world. They don't want to get coin flipped over that. Instead, they would rather just play the game as is right now. So while it's a shame they don't pick up the Cloud Dragon and the further agency, instead they're just going to reset, take it slow, go back to this Baron that has been largely conceded by Vigorous Gaming.
And they're late to the party.
Yeah, this one's going to go down relatively quickly. Urban, will you stop buying attack speed items? I am so upset right now.
He's losing to Shopkeeper, but it doesn't matter. His team is winning. His support is hooking everybody. That is another hook after the Baron has been picked up, and luckily for Akuri, he has another dash available. But the Baron without contest means the gold lead has grown to around 9,000 at this point in the game. And forget one miracle. Team Vigorous need 2 or 3 miracles right now to still come back into this game and have a chance at winning it.
It's, yeah, we're a couple of conditions away from even being able to say they are in a position to take infrastructure. It is just objectives at the moment, and with another 3.5 minute lull state coming up, this Baron is going to be oh so punishing. Instead of going into the bot lane, we do see Jonjo in the top, so we'll be playing mildly around this T2 and looking for flanking plays onto the mid lane. I don't see why Wavy has to be swapped with Coco here. While he's picking up the blue buff, there's no need to defend that minion wave. May as well guide the next one closer and synchronize with middle. Instead, middle will crush a little early, so this is slightly suboptimal. But
Guys, Syphora missed a hook. He's trying to make it not obvious.
I don't actually believe you. I think he hit the training dummy that had despawned on the map. I don't think it's actually possible for him to miss at this stage.
Alright, there is a pike hook going wide as well. Another Blitzcrank hook not hitting, but he's just throwing them out there at this moment. One thing I want to say about that one that we mentioned earlier is that was not even only a max range Blitzcrank hook, that was a max range flash Blitzcrank hook. So even more impressive here for Syphora. As this mid lane tower is being sieged on, another hook misses. There is some damage they're taking, but meanwhile Jonjo is pushing in the top end, so they could just easily walk up. Also, the bot lane inhibitor being exposed means Team Vigorous have to be on their toes. They cannot make half a second of a mistake! There is the hook on Trundle, and he's just not tanky enough to survive this. Urban's on the rampage. 8, 1, and 2 on the Caitlyn. And there is the avenue to end the game if they find the engage. Knock up onto Rakuri, double kill for Urban, and that just surely means the end. Unless they make any big mistakes now, they will get at least 2 inhibitors.
Here we go.
Oh, Jonjo flashes through with the slicing maelstrom. Ambitious Man cannot save himself with even the shield, and the hook comes in the moment the laser starts channeling, and that will surely mean the end of the game this time. What a performance from Sacramentum after a few hiccups in Game 1. Game 2 is absolutely a demolition. Commodore tries to make something happen. He gets the kill onto Syphora, but it just means his own death. The style points are his though. Urban is godlike. Another pike hook lands, but Coco just goes golden. And they are on to the Nexus. They're padding their KDAs a little bit, but the Nexus will fall. It's a 2-0 for Sacramentum. Congratulations. What a game from them after that picky Game 1.
What a game indeed. A standout performance from the Sacramentum bottom lane, just like concretes itself across the map, and that smooth line of play we established in Champion Select just means that we're pushing on forwards, and that the Sacramentum composition, it finds its win condition. There was a little blip there around the first Cloud Dragon, but otherwise smooth running right to the finish line here for Sacramentum as they take the swift 2-0 over Vigorous Gaming.
Well, game 1 certainly wasn't as swift as they hoped it would be. Game 2 was very, very much. And while you guys can browse our merch store at gamersapparel.co.uk/store/Valence, I'm going to put Temporal on the hot seat to make him choose an MVP for the series. I know who I would pick.
I think we have to pick him, otherwise he's going to hook us into the next dimension. Congratulations, Zyphora. You can turn your aimbot off now. I think despite Urban really showing up and having standout performances both games, your item choices mean I've dunked you for MVP. That was like, come on, buddy. I'll help you out if you need some advice. But that will be Zyphora with the perfect hooking performances.
Yeah, the kissing your fingers meme for the hooks. Take a bow, Zyphora. You are the MVP of the series. And now, with this series concluded, Sacramentum are 4-0 in Division 2. After conquering Division 3, they are looking to just keep winning. And that is an impressive thing to do. And so congratulations to the whole team as well. That is a team on the rise, if I've ever seen one.
For sure. I'd like to see Sacramentum keep this up. And hey, if they're going to push all the way through Div 2, this is going to be a Div 1 team soon enough.
I mean, if they keep playing like they did in this second game and in the early game of the first game, I could very much see them competing with the teams in Division 1, because that was not only impressive micro in some points of the game. I'm talking about the Blitzcrank hooks, but also impressive macro in the early game. They really, really pushed their lead from that jungle invade from level 1 in game 1. They did have some hiccups. So as for every team, there is something they can work on. But definitely huge performance from them, and definitely gives us something to look forward to towards the rest of the season.
Definitely will be the way they continue forwards here. And oh man, I'm just so happy that Blitzcrank was such a show-off performance. That was really powerful. Commiserations to Vigorous Gaming. You guys tried until the end, but unfortunately, the harder to execute win conditions mean that, you know, in the end, Sacramentum just roll it over and push on forwards.
Yeah. So the bad news is this series is over. The good news is there is more to watch, because on our main Twitch channel, twitch.tv/official Valence League, we have a Division 1 match going on between 7 Deadly Sins Senior and Deja Vu, which is currently sitting at a 1-0 standing in the second game, about 20 minutes in. So there's still plenty to watch, with Nimaera and Greyheart on the caster desk. So I definitely advise everyone to watch here. But for now, I will thank you, Temporal. I will thank production, and will thank all the players and coaches who have participated in this series. And want to wish you well until next time. And do go over to the other stream, because that is a banger as well.
All right, it has been a complete banger. Congratulations once again to Sacramentum. That is a standout performance. It has been all from me and Joe. You can find me at TemporalLOL on Twitter. You can find Joe at
JoeMaster312.
All right, we have been the Valence League stream team for Stream the Second. You can find Valence Apparel at gamersapparel.co.uk/store/Valence, and follow along with the Valence League tables at beta.esportsmedia.com/lol/Valence_league.
All right, that will be it from us tonight. Again, thank you guys for watching. Thank everyone for participating. And see you next time, and see you on the other stream, because I'm really looking forward to the rest of that game.
Seems like everybody has it out for me. Don't expect a call out or reply from me. I don't really care about your honesty. Voices in my head, I need the company. Seems like everybody has it out for me. Don't expect a call out or reply from me. I don't really care about your honesty. Voices in my head, I need the company. Hold on to that heartbreak. 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 Seems like everybody has it out for me. Every time we speak, you acting differently. Maybe I can be more than a place to sleep. Lately I've been wondering what's wrong with me. Now you're fucked, guess you never meant to be this dumb. Caught off guard, now the blood is dripping from your nose. And you realize that you're all alone. Got too high and now you lost your phone. Oh, we're looking so good, if it's such a problem. Still another cigarette, I'm guessing that you won't learn. Having too much fun now, don't know how to slow down. You could find your way around my room with all the lights out. It's only fair to want some more. It's only fair. Seems like everybody has it out for me. Don't expect a call or a reply from me. I don't really care about your honesty. Voices in my head, I need the company. Seems like everybody